I was at a kind of like a podcast set the other day.
Yeah.
And the girl, she had a really interesting approach to it actually that I appreciated. She had a series of like 10 to 15 questions.
Okay.
That were basically the same, but the underlining like reason for starting the podcast, which is to highlight other people's. So the company, like the organization, is the cause, and so what they're trying to do with the podcast is figure out what other people's why is, pretty much like what's your cause. And so she had a series of like 10, 15 questions that are the same for every single guest, but obviously
different for the answers.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. It keeps her on track.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start doing that as well. But
just to have like your signature questions.
Exactly.
That people know like this is what he asks.
Yeah, I think that would be really smart.
You're like, but for today, you're like a freestyle.
Not today.
Love that.
Right here, guys. Welcome to. There's the camera. Cool.
Hi,
I'm right here with the legendary, one of a kind, one in a million, Mandi Rose. I'm gonna just be asking her some questions. We just shot some like kind of like a music video, more of like a. I feel
like there are just some visuals to appreciate the music.
There you go. Some visuals is better.
Yeah. Just a visual depiction of the music.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you did a great job.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's gonna come out really, really good.
No, me too.
I learned a lot from the first time shooting that music video. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Shot with a local artist. Her name is Celeste. Really talented artist, actually. She's dope.
Thanks.
But that was my first time shooting a music video.
You were shooting with that guy.
John?
Was that his name?
Possibly.
Or was it the other guy? Anyway, off topic. But that guy was talented, whoever he was.
So I was on set and I had like no idea what to do. I got there and I was like, okay, let's see what
music video's a different beast.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. But I had a ton of fun shooting it, and then I learned a lot post as well.
Yeah.
And then even before, like I went in asking, doing a ton of research on like what other people do for music videos, but even then, it just comes down to
you literally only learn by doing.
Exactly.
So it's like you can watch YouTube videos all day.
I wanted to ask you, what has been your biggest? Oh, phone call. Hold on, mama. What has been your biggest like struggle with entrepreneurship?
Whew. I think tying into entrepreneurship, being an artist, you are an entrepreneur. So I would say what everybody's biggest struggle and mine was for a long time was budget. Was money, was backing, was support. Now, I would say the biggest struggle with entrepreneurship is always wanting to progress. So it's like never being almost satisfied, right? Because every time we open a door with entrepreneurship, a new one opens. So for instance, like when I met you through entrepreneurship, we were learning about one subject matter, which elevated us, helped our mindset, helped our pockets. But then we started a whole different lane of something else. And it's like you get to like these levels where you're like almost feeling like you're capped and you're like, I want more, I want more, I want more. So like that hunger for more, I think is a positive struggle in entrepreneurship. Always wanting to get to like a better level. For instance, right now we're shooting a YouTube video. Eventually you're going to look back on this YouTube video and be like, dang, like look at the quality I have now versus then. But right now you're so focused on how do I get to like the next level of my content. So I think that's like the never-ending struggle that never goes away. I feel like that in music. I feel like that in entrepreneurship with like business. I even feel like that with like relationships and self-help. Like I'm like, okay, I want more, I want more, I want more, I want more. It's like an addiction.
Yeah, I find myself struggling with the same thing of like, how do I heard Russ talk about this in his audiobook too, where it's like this constant push and pull between me. The way he described it for him was like, I have that feeling, but every time I create a song, so when the second I finish the song, I'm like, yeah, it was awesome. Let's do the next one. Yeah,
literally. And you know what? I seen Tyler, the creator, post. He's like, promote yourself. Like, really invest in promoting yourself because too often we spend hours, days creating a piece of content and then we put it on Instagram or we put it on TikTok or we put it on YouTube and then we're like, okay, next. But like, you put so much love and attention and time into that. I would say a struggle is promotion too. Like taking what I've created, what I've made, what I've invested in, and like really just like backing it so it gets seen by enough people, because sometimes too often we're so hard on ourselves and we're like, we need to give them the next thing, and it's like, hold on, they didn't even see the last thing. We didn't even promote it. We didn't even promote it right.
That makes sense.
Like, we need to promote ourselves, promote your business, promote yourself, promote your art, whatever you're creating. And I think that it's okay to be like overly excited about sharing your stuff. We're kind of in like a time where people are like, okay, we've seen it, like next, but no, like you have to like indulge in it, embrace it.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing that I've been learning in videography and like the whole social media space, is that the getting it out to people is just as important as making sure that what you're putting out is received as well.
Man, that was a nugget.
I'm gonna clip that for sure.
It's a nugget, like, cause damn, like we just are so hyper focused on producing an overabundance of content that you don't stop to be like, dang, this is good. Like we should like really push this.
Just this
for like 2 weeks until everybody sees it, until everybody's seen it 3 times. We don't do that because we're like hyper focused on overly producing for people. Yeah, and then they don't even see the content that you created that's like so fire. Don't tell anybody. I repurposed a piece of content from 2 years ago the other day, and it got 4 times the engagement it did the first time.
You know what's so funny? I just was watching something or reading something about this where you create a piece of content and it does well, it doesn't do well, whatever, who cares?
Right.
But repurpose it and figure out what works and what doesn't work, even more so for that video, so that the next video you make is that better.
But none of us usually do that.
Right.
Especially girls, because we're like, I don't look like that anymore. My hair doesn't look like that anymore. You know, like the other day I put a video up, I'm like, ugh, I hated my hair, but I'm like, this is such good content. Like, it has to be seen again. And plus, as artists, as entrepreneurs, we spend a lot of money. Like, we spend a lot of money.
Disgusting, yeah.
So why not milk it? You know, why not really try to like get your money's worth? Like your mama used to say, get your money's worth, get your money, honey. Cause damn, like to put hours into creating something and only put minutes into promoting it is foolish behavior.
Yeah, I think that's another misconception in entrepreneurship, is that you have to that you can't be cheap, or you not cheap, but like you can't get your money's worth.
Yeah,
I think that's another big misconception in entrepreneurship.
Frugal.
Yeah, is that you can't be frugal. You're supposed
frugal,
to be
it sounds
frugal.
better than cheap, but it kind of makes cheap. It just means being smart.
Right,
You know,
being smart
like,
with your money.
Yeah, being smart with your money. Because damn, as an artist, I spent, I would say, on an average music video funded by myself, at least $2,000 to $4,000, depending on the video.
Like each video?
Each video. And that's with how much I was making monthly. So I'm going into debt with my artistry. So then you feel compelled to go, you know what, I'm not going to create today because it's so much money. But what I was going to say, another nugget for entrepreneurship, is I used to think that I had to be everything. When now I've realized, having people like you around, having great people around, I'm like, I need a team. Like, I need a team of people that really understand the vision. We don't need to be working on it 24/8, but we all need to be compelled to create so that each of us gets better. Before I was like, I've got to do it all myself. I've got to plan it. I've got to write it. I've got to sing it. I've got to work it. I've got to shoot it. Like, you know, and it's just like, you're like, hold on, pause. What if I just build like a team? Because I'm not alone. Entrepreneurship feels very alone. Entrepreneurship, it sounds like a one-person job. But the reality is there's a lot of entrepreneurs, even people who are working, that you can be like, yo, like, let's team up and like build some shit together for like the rest of our lives. And build just like a really solid squad. I think that would have helped me in the beginning. Because in the beginning I was like, it's Mandi's world, I gotta do this all by myself. Like, I am the hire, fire, director, artist, you know, like, you don't need to be alone.
Extraordinaire.
Literally. We're not alone. Like, we just feel alone sometimes in the creation, but finding other people that like to create too, that's the key.
Yeah, that's huge. I think
you're really good at that.
Yeah.
You're like a networker, like I'll pop out anywhere to meet people. You have a great,
It's pretty funny too, because I get that a lot, but like naturally or internally, I guess, whatever. I don't feel that way.
Really?
I'm like super introvert. I'm the type of guy to walk into the club and just kind of peep the scene.
That means you're a good marketer, because you're making it look like it's like easy for you. Like, because you're really good at sharing your experiences, very like just real, like transparent. The word I'm looking for. But that's crazy to hear that the man behind the camera is like, I'm actually kind of introverted. Not gonna lie to y'all, I'm kind of uncomfortable. Like, damn, you ain't looking uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that's
growth.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think that's growth. I think that's experience. Because at first I was still introvert, but I wasn't as experienced in making it look so easy or communicating with people.
Marketing it the right way.
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I was looking at an old YouTube channel. Nobody go and find it. An old YouTube channel of me from high school, and I'm like recording videos. First of all, very unprofessionally done. I was like, should I delete this? I don't even have the info, but I'm like, no, this is part of the story. This is documentation that I was trying, and it wasn't perfect. It was actually really unprofessionally done. But I had the passion and the drive and the motivation to do something rather than nothing, and there's something to show for it. And if you go and you look up these old covers on YouTube of me, I don't sound the best either, but I'm trying. And I think that that's so important. It's just like keep trying, because entrepreneurship's hard.
Yeah.
Shit is not easy. It's not for the weak.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun though.
It's fun until you realize you gotta fight your way through the jungle to survive. You gotta come out with some type of food to eat. Entrepreneurship's fun till you realize that you hungry.
Damn, I gotta make the spear, I gotta cook the food, I gotta make the crib, like damn.
Like, sheesh. And then after, I don't even know if I'm gonna get credit for it, let alone paid for it. Stop it. But you gotta have that belief, that internal belief. If you believe that you can, then you can. If you believe you can't, then you can't, right? So believing, in my opinion, you're farther than halfway there. And in entrepreneurship, most people lack belief from the beginning, so they already fail before they start.
Right.
That's something, Nate, when I met you and I first started mentoring you, I was like, it was like a whiff of fresh air, because we had a lot of people that had lost that belief, and then here you come, fresh, young, excited, fully ready to believe, and I'm like, shit, you're making me believe again. Like, okay, and it's actually infectious. You infected me with belief where I re-believed, and I was like, damn, I needed that. And having people like that around you, or you just being that type of person in entrepreneurship, is the only way to succeed. You will fail if you do not believe in yourself. Like, if you believe in everybody else and everything else, but not you, whoa, don't fall. You almost fell over. It was he's like, I gotta believe in myself. He's like, shit. I believe in myself now. Like, no, seriously.
That's funny. I was gonna ask you if you had ever dealt with imposter syndrome, and the reason I was gonna ask that is because I don't think I ever felt that. I always kind of felt like just very like self-aware. Like I know exactly what I'm here to do and why I'm doing it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do
imposter
that.
Syndrome crazy.
What was that like for you? Like, how did you overcome that?
It's like one of those things where you're like, I don't have the results yet, but I believe that I can get them. And that's another thing that Tyler, the Creator, said in that interview I was watching. He said, people used to laugh and snicker at me because they were only seeing me for where I was, not realizing I already had a plan 3-4 years ahead of them that knew where I was going. And this is the major key in getting rid of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is created from you feeling like you're not good enough, right? Like you don't belong in that space. But somebody once said, a mentor said to me once, it's not about faking it till you make it. It's about believing that you can before you already have it. It's about acting as if. So don't fake it to make it. Meaning like don't be like, yo, like I got this and I got, but you can act as if, yo, I'm about to be a millionaire. I'm about to be successful. I'm about to get this, that, and the other. Not fronting, lying, conniving, whatever you, manipulating. No, that's where imposter syndrome starts. You go, dang, I'm not that. But if you go, I'm acting as if, fuck the imposter syndrome. I'm sorry. We'll bleep that out. Screw the imposter syndrome. I'm on a mission to make it. So I have to think about me and my best self. I can't sit here and dwell on who I'm not. I have to focus on where I'm going, where I'm headed, who I am. I think you're so sure of yourself. That's why you never experienced it. But people that are internally battling,
right?
Am I good enough?
Yeah, I always understood it, but I never really.
You're like, can't relate.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. It was like where does that even come from?
Can't relate.
But I heard Layla Hermosi say one time that it comes from kind of like what you're saying of like you're saying that you can do something, but you really can't, and therefore it creates imposter syndrome, and that was such a epiphany to me because it was like, oh, okay, I'm aware of who I am, but I also very much know like that I can do whatever it is that I'm talking about, or if not, that I'll figure it out. I think that's what's definitely helped me like get over it, or like not even have to go through it as much as others might. But is there anything that you wanted to ask me?
Tony Robbins says, I actually do have a question for you, but I will tell you on that thought. Tony Robbins says to turn your shoulds into must. So instead of like, I should wake up at 6 a.m., like I must wake up at 6 a.m. Like I should start making music tomorrow. Like I must.
That's really funny.
It's a perspective shift.
That's really funny. Oh, because I've actually experienced that. Like I'll have something to do like early in the morning. I'm like, shit, I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. and I'll wake up at 6 a.m.
Love it.
But if I don't have to wake up, I'm not gonna wake up at 6 a.m.
Because your mind is like, we're good, we're safe. But I must.
Totally different.
Okay, my question for you is, we have less than 30 days. What is something that you are doing to progressively get you closer to your goals so that you're not new year, new me, but you're like new me now?
I think it's like actually tracking data. Before it was just a constant like, okay, let me get this, let me get that.
Too much chaos.
And I think the actual
clarity.
like organization, right? Because clarity brings certainty. And if I have certainty, then I can do whatever I'm doing at a whole nother level.
Period.
And so, I think that's where I've been at. Just taking like a lot of notes, creating PDFs of old videos that I've watched or old lessons that I've learned, and just going through all my notes, organizing stuff.
Bro, by the time you're my age, you're gonna be so lit. Stupid lit. Like stupid lit.
I think that's another thing that I struggle with is just being I enjoy the process, but I'm not very patient.
Patient with the process. Aggressive with the execution. Patient with the process. If you're not patient with the process, you'll always be unsettled. And if you're unsettled, you'll be scatterbrained.
Yeah, I hate that. I think I've gotten a lot better at it, but it's still something that is kind of always in the back of my mind, like, bro, move. And I'm like, but I've gotten a lot better the past few months, especially at being like, it's cool, I don't have to move.
I'll end our conversation with this. That feeling that you have of feeling unsettled, high performers only feel that way. I feel that way every day. I wake up and I go, like if I'm sitting on the couch here for an hour, I'm like, oh, in my head it's
I gotta
like,
stretch or something.
Bro, my head's like, bro, get up and do some squats. Like go run, go to the gym. The gym's downstairs. Like I'm a high performer, so I'm constantly unsettled because I'm like, I can do more. I feel like I'm being called to do more. So just don't lose that, because a lot of people, they don't feel that at all. They sit on the couch and they're like, I can do this all day. But like you feeling that way, that just means like how we started the conversation of always wanting to get to the next level, that will never dwindle. It's a quality that not a lot of people have. So easy. Nate the philosopher, stay in tune.
Official Mandi Rose. Another episode. I don't even know what I got a title.
This is an episode of What You Talking About?
What you talking about?
This is an episode
they ain't talking about none.
Yeah, this is an episode of, get it right.
Get it right.
I think this is a good talk just before the new year, because we need to align and get everything right.
Yeah, I love doing these. I did I did 2 with Jalen in the same day. I've done like 1 or 2 with other people, but I want to do these a lot more where I just kind of pop up and like bring the setup wherever.
I love it. And it's
just,
raw and it's real.
Yeah, I think that's.
I love
and then
it.
it's just super easy to like chop up real quick, send out, and it's quality content. It's good. Somebody will definitely get some value out of this.
Period. Well, stay in tune.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.